All right, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Longines Breeders Cup Classic was Vino Rosso, and we're thrilled to be joined by the winning trainer, Todd Pletcher, owners Mike Rapoli and Vinny Viola. Congratulations to you all. This is Todd's first Breeders Cup Classic victory. Todd, I'd like to start with you and just get your initial impressions of the race.
It was one of those times where pretty much the race unfolded exactly like we had all discussed beforehand. We were able to get the trip we had talked about trying to get. Irad was very confident coming to the paddock. You know, we had a game plan in place. Mike asked him, "Is there one particular horse you're afraid of?" And he said, "No, I'm just going to let my horse run his race," which he did a great job. I can't remember the last time coming into a race of this magnitude with a horse that we felt like was doing so well and, you know, just training unbelievably. He put in some perfect works at Belmont, shipped in great, was galloping over the track like he loved it. We were kind of group texting with these guys for the last 5 weeks, and it's just like we're on pins and needles because he was just doing so wonderfully, and you know, we couldn't wait for the moment to get here, and so happy to see him deliver the type of performance we thought he had in him, and so happy for these guys and their families and our whole organization, the whole barn, the whole team. You know, it's a huge win for us.
And this would be an ecstatic moment under any circumstances, but if you could also talk about the emotions after the disqualification in the Jockey Club Gold Cup and then the redemption here today.
Is that for me? I mean, I publicly said I didn't agree with the disqualification. That's pretty much the end of the story. I think he redeemed himself today, left no doubt. There was no controversy involved today. He won authoritatively, and you know, to me, that was the strongest performance I've seen by any horse this year.
And now we've got winning jockey Irad Ortiz Jr. And we'd love to hear Irad's description of the race, if you would.
Well, we was planning to stay third or fourth or fifth, in the clear. Don't wanna be a clean face. That's the best races of him, be on the clear, so everything worked out perfect.
And Irad, you had a heck of a day today. Just give us your emotions after a 3-win day and winning the 2 biggest races of the year.
I'm blessed. Thanks God for everything. Keep me in one piece. Keep me healthy, available to do what I love, is riding horses. And thanks my agent Steve Rochin for doing a great job and find me those kind of horses to ride.
Mike, what are you feeling right now?
Sorry?
Me.
Sorry? What do you say?
Mike.
Irad's gonna answer for me. You know, listen, it's I feel blessed right now. Like, you know, I had so much anxiety coming into this race, and having Vinny as a partner and Teresa is so much fun. It's a great partnership. But, you know, I've been friends with Todd for 11 years now, and honestly, even with Uncle Mo and Stay Thirsty and Stop Charging Maria, this might be the most confident I've ever seen him with a horse. So I wind up getting more nervous, you know, when he's like that, because I know it's going to be something special. And then when you ask Irad, you hear the same thing, and you ask Martine, the groom, and Isabel, and Fernando, the exercise rider. And then you come out here on a Wednesday morning, and you have 500 people tell you how great your horse is doing. Like, it's been a tough 2 days, to be honest with you. But you know what? It ran exactly the way Todd and Irad have told Vinny and I. And, you know, I mean, you know, and what a move. You know, Vinny and I have talked a bunch about this horse, and, you know, Irad and Todd. I mean, to bring this horse out here 5.5 months ago, Vinny and I don't ship a lot of horses to California. Yep. There was a reason, there was a purpose. Grade 1, 1.25 miles on this track, so we can do what we just did today. Pretty exciting.
And Todd, could you elaborate on that decision to come out here and get an out over the track?
Well, I think as much as getting an out over the track, it gave us confidence that the horse handled the track. We knew he'd love 1.25 miles. But also for me, you know, you're always trying to figure out, like, when's the best time to ship? Do we want to ship 5 days out? Do we want to work over the track? But we had a blueprint in place, you know, that worked. So we tried to follow that pattern exactly. And, you know, we did. And like I said, I mean, the horse, he was crawling out of his skin, literally. And the way he was breezing coming into it, like like Mike said, you're just so anxious for the moment to get here.
Vinny, how does Todd's confidence manifest itself? What were you hearing from him? What did you see?
Todd is a very efficient communicator, so you have to pick up on the signals. So when you get texts that are un-Todd-like, I turned to Teresa and said, I think this horse is going to really run a special race. And I do want to thank Todd and Mike. There's no hard-working horse owner than Mike Rapoli. I want to thank Jimmy Krupe because he gave us the gift of this game, my wife Teresa and I. He selected this horse. He broke this horse. He told us that this horse would be a better 4-year-old than 3-year-old. And the horse was just leaving the farm. So getting back to Todd, I think that was about the most excited I've ever texted with you. Because, so you may want to comment about how excited you were coming into the race.
No, like I said, and I think Dave and people that were at Belmont watching him train, it was just, everything was going textbook. And so we were confident knowing we were coming into a very tough scenario, but we were confident that our horse was on top of his game.
We can open it for questions now. Who'd like to lead us off? Dave Grenning. And the question is about Irad and Vino Rosso.
Well, John Velasquez had ridden the horse every start of his career, and he had a tough decision to make. We made a decision not to go in the Woodward, which we felt like certainly was a huge reason for our success today. But so Johnny had a commitment to Code of Honor, and it was a tough choice, I'm sure. Maybe part of it, is Code of Honor being a 3-year-old and coming back next year. Those kind of things could have played a role in it, but got a lot of confidence in Irad. We felt like Irad's style, we being the team owners, felt like Irad's style would suit the horse very well. And we sensed right away that once Irad got to work him a few times, there was some chemistry there. And the horse seemed to respond really well to Irad. And, the horse seemed to run for him. And so he worked him each time. Last couple of times before the Jockey Club, each time in between races here. And just like every breeze was executed perfectly, and you could tell like the horse was just loving it, just happy, and training sensationally. And so I think there's just some riders have a good rapport with certain horses, and Irad and Vino Rosso really gelled. You could see there was great chemistry there from the first time he got on him.
More questions? Frank.
We'll ask Mike this one. This horse obviously had some nice runs at 3, but did you feel were you really excited about coming into this year, some unfinished business maybe?
Yeah, I mean, totally unfinished business, not just because of the Jockey Club to here. Vinny is a lot more patient than me. I don't know if you guys have picked that up. But, obviously I wanted to probably sue Naira, sue Kentucky, sue Global Racing over the mishap. And Vinny kept me calm. And Todd does that always too. But, I think there's unfinished business with this horse since he was a 2-year-old. He was a 2-year-old. He was 2 for 2. Vinny and I were smart enough to take it easy with us. He kind of disappointed a little bit in Tampa. Then he won the Wood Memorial, and we said, oh, my God, we got the Derby winner. Then he had the Derby, and the Belmont didn't work out the way we thought it was. We were disappointed when he doesn't like Saratoga. He's 0 for 3. We put him away. Vinny and I, easiest decision we made, went to Jimmy Krupe's. I think as a 4-year-old, he's had a great campaign. The Carter, if with a little bit of a faster pace, I actually think he wins that race. The Stymie, the Jockey Go Club, he did cross the line first, so I'm counting it as a win. I gave the purse back, but it's another story. And then, and now this performance in the Classic is, this was, to me, loved for Vinny and Teresa to win this race. My friends and family back here, but Irad, who's won everything. But you know, this one's really for Todd and the horse. I mean, Todd has done an amazing job with this horse. Seriously. And you know what? He doesn't win. He hasn't won like 50 grade ones every single year, maybe the last 18 months. And maybe some people have forgot a little bit, but Vinny and I have been here every step of the way. He's here as the classic trainer, so there's a reason why he's still standing here. So,
Matt?
For Todd and Mike, not to put a dour note on your.
Irad has a $10,000 claim at Aqueduct tomorrow, so all right, he's leaving. All right.
This is for Todd and Mike. Not to put a dour note on your accomplishment, but what's your reaction to the news that Mongolian Groom broke down? It appeared that Santa Anita did everything this week to have the safety protocols in place to prevent something like that from happening, and it didn't happen until the last race of the weekend there.
I don't know if we have enough news to comment on it. I don't know exactly what happened. I mean, it does happen. It's the worst part of this game. It's unfortunate. I don't know exactly what happened with the horse, and you know, for us, horse safety is very, very important. If you lose a horse, so you know, prayers for the horse and prayers for the connections of the horse. I mean, that's got to be really, really tough and you know, really, really sad.
Yeah, I totally agree with what Mike said. You know, like to learn more information. I'm hopeful that it's something that you know, he can have a surgery for and you know, have a recovery. It's something that I think we were all very concerned about coming in. We were, you know, anxious for not only, you know, running in huge races like these, but also hoping that everything would go smoothly and safely. And you know, I think everyone took every precautionary measure they possibly could. And like I said, I hope that's something that you know, he can have a successful surgery for.
More questions? Danny?
Okay, any of the team, you know, coming into this thing, everything was going so great, and even the trip was just fantastic. Did you ever, like, pinch yourself and wonder, hey, am I dreaming? Is this always dreaming? You know what I'm talking about, Vinny? You know, am I dreaming here? Can it be this good? Well, what about it, guys?
I was thinking that the horse is running exactly the way Todd felt about him. And when Irad got into him around the 3/16 pole, I thought it could be a special race.
I mean, for guys like me and Vinny and Teresa and Maria, you know, our lives have been dreams. You know, he names a horse always dreaming. I always say, think big, dream bigger. So, you know, this is, you know, I got 45 friends and family members here. We're gonna have a great party tonight. Some Vino Rosso will be drank. So, but with my friends and family back here, if we would have came in last, these guys still would have drank the same amount, to be honest with you. So, like, they were partying no matter what. so no, I would have drank more. They would have drank the same amount. So, we're living a dream, man.
We do want to
You know,
acknowledge
I want to
the-
say one more
Oh,
thing.
sorry.
When he was coming up to the top of the stretch, I planned a mission of sending Todd and Mike to Mr. Hughes' house, Mr. Hughes' house in Kentucky, because I think we got to get a letter writing campaign, because this horse might do some stuff really, really special in the future. But he's Mr. Hughes' horse now, so we're very lucky that he agreed to stand him, and he had confidence in this horse as a stallion.
Yep.
And we're very blessed to be partners with him on it.
And speaking of breeding, we'd like to acknowledge the winning breeders, the Gunthers. They've been on fire the last few years. Would anybody like to just comment on
Well, I
this
mean,
horse before you bought him?
Well, John and Tanya Gunther, obviously are great breeders. I don't know if you guys know this, but Stay Thirsty was bred by John and Tanya Gunther. So I've had some, I was going to say some success with them, but I think they owe me some money. They've done well with my, when these horses run in my silks. But no, they've been great breeders, and you know, just think justifying Vino Rosso in the same crop, in the same pen, it's pretty special. A Triple Crown winner and a Classic winner, you know, side by side for the first couple of years of their life. It's pretty special.
Incredible. Other questions?
Obviously, you know you're in wonderful hands with Todd Pletcher, but we lost J.J. Krupe this year from Krupe's Newcastle farm in Ocala, which was very sad. I saw him a couple days before in Maryland, and he gave me a bottle of wine. He was a great guy. How important do you think the starting trainer is that gets these horses going, first of all?
I mean, for me, it's, you know, I want to acknowledge, you know, I have Jim Martin, my racing manager, and Ed Rosen, and Vinny has Rory, who does an amazing job. Those guys have it a lot tougher than me and Vinny, to be honest with you, especially Ed and Jim, but that's another story. But Jimmy Krupe, you know, he got me into this game. He got me horses at the highest level. When I met Vinny and Teresa, the first introduction I made to them was to Jimmy Krupe. And I love Jimmy Krupe and his wife Edie, and I just missed a call by Edie Krupe, and probably, you know, which is amazing. And I'll call her tonight, which is really special. And I know Vinny and Teresa are still very close with Edie, and Jim Martin and Joe Reeder are very close with Edie. And you know, Jimmy was a one of a kind, and you know, for him, this to be the last horse that he picked out for me and Vinny, you know, and almost the week he passed away was when he won his first Grade 1 in California, and now the Classic. So, and so many good times in that Newcastle farm, and staying at the house, and dinner at Mark's, and early morning, 6, 7 o'clock, watching the horses work there. That was a part of the game. Doesn't feel the same. I don't know how Vinny and Teresa feel, but
It'll never be quite the same for Teresa and I. And I think Todd and Mike would agree. The person who oversees the breaking and initial training of a horse is probably as critical as any part of the team. And Jimmy, wherever you are, I know you're in heaven. We love you very much. And this one really, really was because of and for you.
And with that, I believe a champagne toast awaits, or maybe Santa Anita's scrambling to find some wine. But congratulations to you all, and
Thank you.
congratulations to Vino Rosso, winner of the Breeders' Cup Classic.